I'm ready for this.
Hello guys, so we're going to be learning how to draw our perfect bustier today. Perfect though, not anyhow bustier. So first of all, we want to measure our shoulder measurement, after which we'll go on ahead to measure our horizontal measurement. That is our bust line, our bust point, our under bust, our half length, and if you are going down, your blouse length. But for this, I'll be stopping at our half length. So this is me drawing the horizontal lines down to our half length. After that, we want to measure out our neck, and for this practical I'll be using 4 by 4 inches for the neck width and the neck depth. So this is me connecting it together and putting creating my curve with my free hand, my round neck shape. But if you don't know how to do the freehand perfectly, you can use your French curls or your pattern master. So from our shoulder, we'll slope down by half of an inch to get our high point, and then at our bust line we'll mark our shoulder and draw a straight line down, after which we impute our vertical measurement, our bust and our waist divided by 4 inches, our bust and waist divided by 4 inches plus 1 inch sewing allowance, or you can add 2 depending on how many sewing allowance you add, but usually I use 1. So this is me after connecting it, and to create my armhole curve I divide our full shoulder to bust line by 2, after which at the middle point I went in by 1 and created a curve straight to my shoulder. So you want to measure your nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2 and draw a straight line down from your bust line to your half length. At your under bust, you are removing 3 inches, but you want to make it uneven. So at the bigger side you remove 2, and at the other side you go in by 1. Can you see that? At the bigger side you go in by 2, and at the other side you go out by 1, making 3 inches. You want to remove something at that point, because when you remove something there it makes the bust side contoured. So at your bust point you go up by half and you come down by half inches, and it's from that half inches you connect to your under bust, either with your ruler or with your French curve, depending on what you want to use. The effect your straight line will give you is different from the effect your curved line will give you. So always remember that. Sometimes I prefer to go for the curved, and sometimes I prefer to go for the straight, depending on what I am sewing. So you want to contour your bust point and make sure it looks natural. So you measure your armhole round, because this is going to be a priestess that bustier. You measure your armhole round, and at the middle point you mark it. That is the part where you'll be connecting from your bust line to your shoulder point to get your princess dart. So you connect it from that half point, half inches you went up by, you connect it to your armhole line, and then from your armhole line you want to contour that part a little. You go in out by both sides, at both sides by half inches each, and then you connect it back to your bust line. You'll be cutting that part of the dart out, and you'll be surprised at how perfect, how beautiful it will make your bustier, because it will be really good. Try it out and you see how good it is. So now this allowance we have removed from our bust, our shoulder side, we want to add it back at our bust line, and the other side too you go up by half inch or 1 inch, whichever you want to use. For this one, I went up by half inch and then I connected it back to my bust line. So now when we are adding the darts, that is when we are sewing the darts together, there won't be any excess anywhere because we have added what we removed. Now at the waist side also, your under bust and your waist side, you want to add back that 3 inches you removed. You don't want your clothes to be too small for your clients, or if you're sewing for yourself, you don't want it to be too small for you. Here my marker ink was kind of misbehaving, so at this point your shape might be looking weird. Ah, trust me, sometimes you'll be like, have I done nonsense? But don't worry, you're on the right track. No matter how weird your shape is looking or your figure is looking, you're on the right track and you have done the right thing. So this is me cutting. You want to watch how I cut it out carefully. Cut it out. See how I cut out the darts too. So see, at that shoulder point I went up. I'm careful not to cut out the part I added. So you want to cut it out carefully and make sure you separate your darts. Look how I am cutting it out. So you want to remove your darts and trash it, yes, because you won't be using it again. So after cutting it out, when you place your pattern together like so, the horizontal lines are supposed to meet. If they don't meet, then there's a problem somewhere. So once your horizontal line meets, then you are good to go. Your pattern is perfect. So we'll be moving to the back pattern now, and believe me, this is easy peasy. So first of all, I'm getting our zipper allowance of 1 inches. I don't use 2 inches because it's just too much allowance and I don't want too much allowance in my clothes. So after getting our 1 inch zip allowance, I brought out our horizontal measurement and then our shoulder measurement, after which I went on to carve out the neck using 4 inches for the width and 1.5 for the depth because I don't want the back to be too wide. After that, I sloped down to our sloping point from our high point and got our armhole point, and then I inserted our vertical measurements. Remember, your vertical measurements divided by 4 plus 1 inches for sewing allowance. Then at the zip side, at our half length, I went in, I removed half inches because it will reduce the bulge at the back and contour our waist in a very perfect way, trust me. So now at that point we went up by 5 inches and connected it to our two dart legs, which we went in by half inches in total. So this is what our back pattern look like. But if you want to do a princess dart at the back pattern too, you just go up to your bust point and then you connect directly to your shoulder. Remember that is if you want to mirror the princess that you did at the front, but usually I don't actually stress myself for normal bodies. So this is me cutting out our patterns and tada. So I went ahead to actually sew our patterns and this is what it looks like. Look at it. There's no form of structure, no patch, no stay, no interfacing, no cup, nothing, no foam. And look out at how it is standing. Look at how you can feel it, you can see it. I also went ahead to wear it on our dummy so I will see how perfect it is. There's no unnecessary bulge anywhere at the under bust or at the half length. It's beautiful, it's perfect. Look at it, look at this, the back view. Although the waist of the person is a bit bigger than this mannequin, but look how perfect the fitting and